Let's go down to Rome's. So another Raw Real Garage rant. And it comes down to Kevin O'Connell, where a lot of people could write off the Vikings, the 0-3, 1-4 start, losing JJ for 7 games, losing Kirk Cousins for the year, and you could just chalk it up as a wash. I mean, it is what it is. It happens, right? But Kevin O'Connell, like, he's been proving his mettle as a coach. He's been put in some tough situations, but this one is going to be deciding if he's going to be a good coach or if he's going to be a great coach that could potentially take the Vikings to win a Super Bowl. And this is what it comes down to, man. I mean, you look at Belichick, right? The Patriots beat the Steelers last night. Congratulations. But the whole thing about it is, like, it was Brady. It was all Brady, man. I mean, you look at Belichick in Cleveland. Yeah, he took the Browns to the playoffs, but he wasn't winning Super Bowls at the time. But yeah, it was Tom Brady. Now, the question is, what caliber of coach is Kevin O'Connell going to be down the stretch? And the whole thing about it too is that we and a lot of Vikings fans were complaining, like, hey, Kevin O'Connell playing not to lose, almost lost the Saints game. You did lose the Broncos game, and you certainly lost the Bears game. And the Vikings at 6-6 could have been a lot better, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. That whole thing, it's just tough, man. And I commiserate to a degree. You have Josh Dobbs coming in. He's a high variance player. You have to change your entire offense. Your entire playbook is predicated on a pocket passer. Fully understand that. But, brother, that's what you're paid to do. I mean, you're the head coach. You're the de facto offensive coordinator, play caller. This is what you do. This is what you live for. And again, good coaches can, coach great players, right? Just like, hey, go out there, F it, JJ's down there somewhere. But putting together that 5-game winning streak without JJ, a lot of props, especially that San Francisco 49ers win, especially going into Lambeau and beating, hey, allegedly, Jordan Love is the next great thing. Beating the Packers by 2 touchdowns is great. It's fantastic. But the whole thing about Kevin O'Connell is that we love the culture, we love the good vibes, we love the Ted Lasso adjacent feeling in the building, which is great. But does Kevin O'Connell have that killer instinct? Like, when the Vikings are in the game and they get a lead, are they just going to sit on it, or are they going to go for the throat? Right? And it was immensely frustrating in that Bears game, where it was ugly, but it looked like the Vikings were going to escape because Brian Flores' defense turned the ball over, got 2 turnovers, got Justin Fields a fumble twice. But that last sequence of play calling for O'Connell, just inexcusable, man. Where first down, you win the game, but 2 dives up the middle when they know that you're going to try to run, and then some Lulu way outside the numbers, low percentage screen pass. I mean, you're just going to try and catch him napping? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. And gave the ball back to the Bears, and the Vikings defense was great. They just couldn't get one last stop. And also, they shouldn't be asked to. Hey, you're supposed to be this offensive guru, and I don't care that you don't have JJ or Kirk Cousins. If your defense gives up 12 points at home, you should win. And if you don't, that's on you, man. It is. And the whole thing about it, too, is that there's going to be so many coaching changes in the NFL, and Kevin O'Connell has had 2 years. And yes, last year, 13-4, winning the division, it's fantastic. But I know that the Wilfs aren't, quick to make changes. They're not David Tepper, that's for sure. And for that, we thank you. But we got to figure out if Kevin O'Connell is going to be the guy. And frankly, he has to figure that out too, because he is a young coach. Like, he's younger than some of the quarterbacks around the league. And he wasn't a full-time play caller in Washington, although he did call some plays a little bit. He was not the play caller with the Rams. McVay was. But he's got to figure these things out. And I do give him credit. Like, when he makes mistakes, he tends to learn from them. But the whole thing about just playing not to lose, got to knock that off. Got to stop that. And all week, Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips have been talking about how they catered the offense to the skill set of the players that they have. AKA, they built the offense around Josh Dobbs. Now, if they come out against the Raiders and it's the same old vanilla song and dance, Kirk Cousins, Nick Mullins preseason, pocket passer, 5-step drops and make your read and da-da-da. We're done. We're done for the season, man. But if they come out with a Todd Monken adjacent, Philadelphia Eagles adjacent type offense and use Josh Dobbs like Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson and maybe Kyler Murray to a degree. Yes, we're in. We're absolutely in. And guess what? The Vikings can be super duper dangerous, especially with JJ back and with that defense. But it's all on Kevin O'Connell. And this is a big time inflection point. Like losing JJ, that was a test. Losing Kirk Cousins, that was a major test. This is the final exam, man. And he's got to pass, right? And I understand, speaking of passes, people will give him a pass on the season, but do not let good be the enemy of great. I like Kevin O'Connell a lot. I think that he could be a great head coach that's going to lead the Vikings to a dozen drum parties in the next 10 years, but he's got to prove it. And spots like this is where the rubber meets the road, and good coaches rise above. Great coaches rise above. Good coaches just sort of get by. Now, what's Kevin O'Connell going to do? It's on him, man. It's on him. And again, you may see this video as harsh, but it's not. It's because we have expectations. I think that Kevin O'Connell could be a great coach. I think that he could win Super Bowls. I think that he could be with the Vikings for a decade, 15 years plus, and lead them to lots of success. But it's spots like this. It's spots like game management. It's spots like everything, man. He's got to get better. He's got to get after, and he's got to be good to go. But anyways, that's it. Raw Real Garage Rant, Kevin O'Connell. Skull, no production value.